Welcome back, everybody, to our next episode of the Rise of the Runelords campaign. Uh, it's already a mess. It's fine. How are we all? I'm doing great. We're just gonna jump straight in and welcome back to the absolute chaos that is my brain. Hey guys, how are ya?
I'm brain cell number one. Nice to meet you all.
Yeah, brain cell number one.
One of our
Yep. Yep.
No response. It's only one brain cell.
Right? Yeah. It's talking to itself because it's the only conversation it gets.
Yeah,
So
going good.
I'm here with
Going good.
I'm here with brain cell number one, brain cell number one, and brain cell number one.
That's it. That's all we've got. Brain cell number one.
Mm.
So, last we left our intrepid heroes of Sandpoint. They had just executed a warrant of entry on Habe's sanatorium after they saw some instances of abuse, both in instances of abuse in his employees, specifically one of the nurses. And when they entered, Voron was taken directly to Graced and promptly attacked. Graced seemed to be uttering the ravings of a madman. However, when he saw Voron, definitely seemed to recognize him. And made a point of saying that his lordship was waiting for you. Had something marvelous to show you, rather. What he said. At a place called the Misgivings. Solomon and Toshi both got accosted by a pair of twin tieflings and made very short work of them. Killing one nearly instantly and knocking the other unconscious instantly as well. After
saving his life.
Then saving his life, yeah, for sure. After Voron dealt with Graced, he also dealt with Habe himself, and in doing so, uncovered that there was a mysterious benefactor living in the basement.
Okay.
After that, you headed directly down to the basement and fought what you are pretty sure it was a practitioner of the necromantic arts.
I mean, like, he did eventually join his test subjects.
He certainly did, yes. On the way back to Sandpoint with their Habe and his thugs in custody, Voron gets this strange urge. I like that boulder. That is a nice boulder. And piles up a bunch of boulders, cuts himself on one, and his stone blood seeps into the rock and brings it to life, introducing itself as Son.
Wait. I have a joke to make about this. Does this mean Voron's actually lithosexual?
What?
Litho is stone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
Fine, Litho is
in some way. So we will pick up either directly after this conversation, after this introduction, or in Sandpoint, your choice.
In Sandpoint, because we're still escorting a few prisoners.
Yeah. Standpoint, I guess.
Standpoint.
Yeah.
Okay.
Toshi will mumble before they actually turn away to start leaving again is, I hope I don't have a rocky relationship with this one too.
Something tells me all of his relationships are rocky. Look, caught between a rock and a hard place on that one. I'm not
You
sorry.
just end up stoned in each of them.
Ooh, ouch. We're moving on really quickly. You make your way back into Sandpoint and deposit your prisoners, I guess you could call them, in the jail, and I'm assuming make your way to the sheriff's office to make a report.
Yeah.
The jail is right across the road, so you are shown in, and you've been gone maybe an hour.
Very efficient.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah, definitely.
we're back.
Very efficient. So you're shown in, and the sheriff looks up and nods and says, "Oh, how did it go?"
Abe and 2 thugs are in custody in jail.
Good. I do trust you, but why?
Neglect of patients,
I see.
abuse of employees.
Smell of dead bodies.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the words.
Addition of infectious substances.
That mean
Basically, letting people die to give somebody their bodies for them to perform necromantic magics on.
I see.
Aiding in the resurrection of undead.
I see. You put a stop to this to
The
this
necromancer is
necromancer.
dead.
Yes. Good. And it is a final death. I know that they can be slippery.
Yes.
Good.
There's a were-rat still to be dealt with. So
okay.
Which we are going
And-
to deal with shortly.
Patients who will be needing some new oversight.
Of course. I see. I will organize that. I will make sure that there is someone trustworthy and decent taking care of this. Do you have, if you could provide a detailed description of what you saw and the condition of the sanatorium itself and the rooms, that would be very helpful to my investigation.
Honestly, it didn't look that bad, did it?
No, it actually looked pretty clean, really.
Yeah.
The problems were more in the way that he treated the
Exactly,
patients.
yeah.
Because he was worried about getting paid.
Yeah, very much so. Definitely.
But we'd tell the sheriff of my conversation
Yep.
with Abe, saying that, he was only really doing it because he was worried that this was all going to get taken away from him. And now it basically is. But I feel like he could still be able to do his work in a better managed position.
Under strict supervision.
Yeah. And then actually, help people like he wants to.
I see.
So, I don't want to put him to death, basically.
Understandable. And these 2 thugs.
They're escaped slaves from
I see.
somewhere north, I think.
Cheliax, south.
South, yeah.
I'm going to
Okay.
suggest we put them to service. Not slavery, but just give them some housing.
we do have a couple guard
Currently.
positions opening up. Do you think that they would be?
I don't think they would be suitable as guards.
I see.
I have an idea.
Oh,
Perhaps they could be of use in the temples. They could always use some extra hands working.
I will speak to Father Xantus and see if he would like to see if he has a place for them.
Excellent.
This is also a bit of a test for them. Jelax does not like Desna, and I want to see if they're still aligned with where they ran from.
Fair enough. In any case, I will have Father Xantus have a talk with them before I let them out of their cells. And same with Abe as well. If there was anything else, otherwise...
One more.
Yes.
And this is probably only going to serve to incriminate me, I guess. Grace seemed to have recognized me when I went to speak to him and said that his lordship was waiting for me, like me in particular, and that I must go to the Misgivings soon to meet the pack, for they have something wonderful to show me.
The Misgivings.
Uh,
Are you aware of what the Misgivings are, Father Warren?
Rumor and tale, but never.
The Misgivings is a place just along the coast, a little bit south of here. Probably 2 days travel. No, sorry, a day and a half travel. It has been abandoned for how many years now? Quite a few. I would say at least at least 30, 20 to 30 years. It was once owned by a noble family called the Foxgloves. And the place itself was once called Foxglove Manor. I can show you on a map where it is.
It's called the Misgivings.
Yes, and he sort of points over to, not points over to, but shows you, gestures over to a map on the wall, and you should be on the Sandpoint Hinterlands map now. In the bottom left-hand corner, there is on the map Foxglove Manor.
If you don't remember, we did also talk to Lord Foxglove back when we were hunting the boar.
Aldern?
Yep.
Yeah.
I see. I would not call him Lord Foxglove. He's a merchant of some respect. He bears the name, but since everything happened at the Misgivings in Foxglove Manor, and I don't know a lot of the details. I know that it is considered haunted, and that no one goes there by choice. Well, that's a lie. Teenagers will be teenagers. He says, before you do, I have a feeling this can wait. However, I do have more questions about Grace. What was his condition? You said he attacked you.
It was string my ghoul fever.
Right.
Yeah.
We may have a more pressing issue at hand.
Yeah, something to do with the ghast.
Quite possibly. I received word a few days ago that local farmers have been talking about walking scarecrows that came out of the fields at night to feed. Nothing was ever seen, but there was screams in the dark and glimpses of people being chased through fields and out over the moors by things. When neighbors visited the farms in the area the next morning, they found them empty. At first, the farmers did say that they thought they could deal with the menace themselves, but a group of farmers armed with torches went to inspect the Hambley place, and only one survived. A man by the name of Maester Grump. He arrived in Sandpoint a couple days ago. Breathless, covered in mud and sweat. He came directly to my door and damn near beat it down to talk to me. He broke into frantic babbling and nervously told me about the walking scarecrows. He is here if you would like to talk to him, but he did tell me everything I feel like he told me everything he could tell you. He spoke about how the southern farmlands have become plagued by foul walking scarecrows that still stalk the night. And all the farmers knew that the problems were coming from the old Hambley place, and said that things just haven't been right there for a while now. And when their group paid the farm a visit that evening, they were attacked by things that looked like corpses but fed like starving animals. And if you say Graced was a ghoul, there may be others.
Yeah.
Could you head out to the Hambley place as soon as possible? And
certainly, as soon as we deal with the were-rat,
I can have that dealt with. I have had some personal experience with lycanthropes, and I can deal with that myself.
Okay. Great. What do you think that Graced was stricken by whatever has gotten the rest of the people on his travels? Or do you think it's just coincidence?
I hope it's coincidence. But I don't believe in coincidence either. My father used to have a saying, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. In sending you to check out Hambley Farm, I am in fact preparing for the worst. I hope that this is nothing but coincidence and stories.
One other thing while
Yes.
I'm thinking of it. Crypts in the area or ruins underneath catacombs and the likes seem to be being occupied in force by creatures of many kinds.
Right.
And I just feel like it's not coincidence. There was catacomb-like rooms underneath Habe Sanatorium that I don't think were his construction.
I see. What do you think that they were then?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
I have a guess.
However, there was the Under the Glassworks, under Thistletop.
Right.
I have a
Well,
theory.
yeah.
Please share.
Well, we seem to have found ruins. They're probably all connected in some way. Out of character, we did learn that it was Thessalonian ruins, correct?
No.
No? Okay, because I thought,
It's never been confirmed, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you
I think
don't.
that was just
Yeah. I have
okay,
never. I've never told you that they were Thessalonian ruins.
okay, because I thought, what's their
Saf.
name? Yes, Saf.
Saf did say that there are Thessalonian ruins that dot the landscape. And that kind of thing. But yeah, never outright
Would it?
said that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, roll me an intelligence check if you want.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can you roll me
give it a
intelligence check?
Oh, I can roll you an intelligence check. How about I roll an intelligence check for you? How about that?
D20 plus 4.
I'll just roll it off your sheet.
Yeah. Wonder what I'll get. Wonder what I'll get.
that one.
19.
Ooh.
It's not. It is definitely not out of the realm of possibility.
Okay.
It definitely could be Thessalonian. However, you've actually never seen Thessalonian ruins before, as far as you're aware.
Okay. I was about to say, wouldn't I have? But
As
no?
far as you're aware, you
Yeah.
have never seen them and identified them as such. You may have
Yes.
seen some, but you wouldn't really know that that's what they were.
Yeah, until I actually
Yeah.
asked somebody else.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And who knows, if you took Saf to some of these ruins, Saf might be able to tell you, oh yeah, no, definitely Thessalonian. Or maybe not.
Okay. Yeah, we're most likely exploring Thessalonian ruins. As Saf said, it's definitely not out of the possibility.
Definitely. So,
Way to the farmland. South, obviously.
yes, south out past the sanatorium.
Should we get horses this time? Asking the other two, not the sheriff.
If you think it's best, I think it's better if we just walk there. I've had my fair share of horses disappear, so I'm not exactly keen on letting another set.
Also, as a note,
Mhm.
If we take our horses, including Shadow Mist knows the trick of flee and to come. So we can tie all the horses together and tell Shadow Mist to take them away and to bring them back. Shadow Mist is awesome.
Shadow Mist
better
is
than
very
Billboard.
cool. Shadow Mist is quite possibly one of my favorite horses ever. You know what would be?
The DM, I'm getting a horse.
Hey,
What?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I
You know
do
what would
hope
be
you stop
really
horsing out
fascinating
soon.
is if I actually ever decided to do some prep instead of doing it literally on stream.
As a GM,
Yeah.
what do you mean prep?
Yeah, what's that? What is prep? I don't understand.
What is this thing called? Prep?
Prep. Never heard of her.
It sounds odd. Are you sure you speak English?
Definitely not.
Impossible.
Right? I'm definitely not stalling for time either, by the way.
I mean, like...
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do we need to, if we are going to be dealing with, how would I say, things of the night, do we need to go and do any prep? Any magic things or ask for any help, like Shilalalu?
I'm pretty sure we're not going to be talking to any Corsans anytime soon, but sure.
Shalalu
San?
is...
What's that?
Dun dun dun.
She is following up other leads at this point. Anyone watching me do this prep on stream is quite possibly going like, oh my god, these guys are gonna die. Point.
We'll be fine.
Joke's on you. I can't die if I don't care.
That's not... You okay?
Am I?
No! That's a resounding no! Ouch.
Exactly.
Alright.
At what point do you expect me to be okay?
Oh, okay? What is this okay that you speak of? Never heard of it. I've heard of ragingly mentally ill. I mean, what? Fine. Anyway, are you guys going to the farm or what? What are you guys doing?
Yes.
Are you taking horses? What's the deal? And just as a note, it is definitely going to be past dark by the time you get there.
Let's see if
I reckon we take horses.
Why don't we just wait till morning then?
Yeah.
It's not
Is there anyone there to save?
It's a great question.
I don't expect so.
There would be people from the farms around still. It was just the men.
The area seems to have been deserted.
There you go.
However, not all bodies or people have been accounted for.
Yeah.
Whether they have
Go
been
with the
eaten
assumption that if you're still there,
or are
you're
just
dead.
missing.
I say with the morning. Better prepare ourselves this afternoon. We've had an interesting day already.
Yeah. Very much so.
Staff can probably do some research on best dealing with some ghouls.
Okay.
I could probably do the same. I don't imagine there's a lot that I can do, but
Saf says, "Oh, if you would like to compare notes, we can do so. I have some literature on the undead.
Sure.
And I'm sure you have some fascinating knowledge and personal insight."
Sure.
I mean, you did just kill one, right? I think you have a lot of insight on to how they work then.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Look.
I might physically be here, but my brain is struggling to compute things at the moment.
On all levels except physical, I am on a beach in Tahiti right now.
No, not that.
Cool. So, Voron, would you like Saf to make this check, or would you like to make the check? You will get a bonus to it.
My religion check.
Yeah.
Where's my skills?
All of the skills. Mad skills, bro.
I'll make it.
You'll make it?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and add a +5 on top of it. +2 from Saf assisting, and another +3 from assorted research materials.
Hang on, that can't be right.
No, that
Well,
doesn't.
Well, it turns out that Vorn was actually a necromancer before the
That's better.
campaign started.
There we go. There we go. Alright. Look. Please allow me to just mess up my entire setup right now. Okay, so do you have any specific questions you would like answered?
Yes, but what they
Yes.
are, I'm not sure.
Fantastic. You do know that most undead are immune to all kinds of mind-affecting effects.
Yep.
They are also immune to disease, paralysis, poison, sleep effects, and stunning of all kinds.
Yep.
They are not subject to non-lethal damage, ability drain, or energy drain. They are immune to damage to its physical ability scores. Did not know that. That's interesting. They cannot be exhausted or fatigued. You do know that they usually have no way to heal themselves if they are damaged. You also know about ghouls and ghasts in particular. That usually, if you are bitten by one,
yep,
you may contract ghoul fever. So it is a disease that can be passed on. You think through saliva of some kind or something like that. Saf seems to get into the details of salivary transmission of diseases. Seems to know a little bit too much about that. It's a bit weird.
I'm not one to judge.
Yeah. And you do also know that a humanoid who dies of ghoul fever, specifically dies of ghoul fever, rises as a ghoul at the next midnight.
Right.
However, you feel pretty confident that if a humanoid is killed before the ghoul fever kills them, they do not rise.
Okay.
You think. You're like 90% sure between you and you and Saf.
Cool. Is there any weaknesses in particular, I guess, as well?
Positive energy damage.
Yeah.
You do know that clerics and some kinds of paladins can emit this burst of radiant energy, and that does tend to do a fair bit of damage.
I'll do that. I'm just going to let you know.
Yeah, I know.
To Saf. I'll just go Saf.
Saf's like, oh, that's understandable. There's some things that I can't do that most other practitioners of the arcane arts can, and, well, there's a lot of things that I can do that they can't, so...
I get some pretty cool things that other paladins can't do.
I saw. Fascinating.
Oh, they're bonding.
I'm pretty sure that's the closest that Saf gets to flirting.
Mood, though. Why flirt when you can just be intellectual and go like, heh.
Yeah. Me trying to flirt in the club. Hey, did you know that if a ghoul dies, it rises the next night at midnight as a ghoul? How cool, right? Person I'm talking to. Really? How? Wow.
I don't need to be called out like this. Why am I being called out like this
Bro.
right now?
Bruh. Alright, so.
You go to a special kind of bar.
I do. It's called...
Old brewery.
Yeah. Yeah. Okie dokie. So, you rest for the night. Some research. Toshi, I'm gonna get you to make a perception check.
Awesome. Can you roll me your perception check?
Roll your I'm already opening up your character sheet. I'm like, as I was like, hey, I realized I have to roll it anyway, so...
Mm-hmm.
Roll. 22.
Ooh.
You overhear.
Quite low.
You overhear. As you're heading upstairs, there's a hushed conversation. Sort of, you're heading upstairs, and there's tables sort of on the ground level. You're halfway up the stairs. On the ground level, they're sort of leaning forward. The hood's up, cloak's up, and it's talking in hushed tones. Obviously, you're gonna eavesdrop. Toshi's gonna Toshi. You hear something about the white deer and how it's no longer the white deer, and the people there seem pretty convinced that there are some major rager parties thrown there. It's like every other night.
If anybody could audibly hear Toshi's mind, it was literally just ooh.
Yeah. And it's weird because the word that you picked up on was fireworks. And but there's never any scene, and you haven't heard any. But yeah, no, they said, well, I think that they set them off inside or something. Must be pretty magical. That they must have reinforced the building with magic to take setting a firework off inside.
Toshi shall go investigate. Investigate.
Investigate.
Yes.
Okay. Solomon, what are you doing tonight?
Having a big meal. That's it.
Yeah, brilliant.
I'm having a big meal,
Sausages,
getting ready.
bacon, a 400 gram steak after it's been cooked. Mashed potatoes, like boiled, roasted, and then mashed potatoes. So three times cooked potatoes. Fantastic. It's got like a garlic and herb seasoning all through it, and it's definitely boiled in like chicken fat. Who else
You're
is hungry?
actually making me hungry.
That
I'm
sounds
starving. I haven't eaten since 9:30 this morning. I'm very hungry. So if I have to suffer, you'll have to suffer.
I'd like to hear more about this food, Adam. Just keep talking about delicious
wonderful
types of food.
So it's got a side of carrots who have been caramelized and baked in honey, and with like a brown sugar caramelized topping on it, along with just an amazing dark brown ale. It's like cool but not cold. It's just under room temperature, so it's refreshing, but oh boy is it boozy and heady.
Yep.
You're welcome.
That's Solomon's game.
Yeah. You slip upstairs and slip into a food coma very quickly. Sleep the sleep
that
of
dwarven
the
meal
of the,
has nothing on this.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. So, Toshi, what are you doing?
Toshi goes to investigate.
Investigate. Now, do you know what the white deer is?
It was pointed out to us at the very beginning of the campaign, session 1 or 2.
Cool. Roll me a wisdom check. No, intelligence check. It would be to.
Okay.
Oh god, I hate having to roll this shit for people. God damn it.
I'm sorry.
7. It's definitely like where the chapel is or north. You're not 100% sure. It's like
Toshi
in
will
the
walk.
northernmost part of the city though, of the town.
Mhm. Toshi walks up to Amiko.
Mika says,
Where
Toshi,
was
how can I help you?
where was the white deer located?
Oh, that was it's no longer the white deer, it was sold. It is right at the end of Church Street, right up the north end of town. You can't really miss it. It's on the left hand side, just before you head out of the gate.
Interesting. Did you hear any rumors about it as of recently?
No, I can't say that I have.
No. Okay. Just wanted to see if you had heard anything interesting as of recently about it.
No, I haven't heard anything about it at all. Unfortunately, was there something in particular that you would like to know, or is there something that you heard?
Well, I heard that there are parties that happen there.
Ooh, parties. What kind of
Yeah.
parties?
Oh, if I knew, and I will know soon.
Well, in that case, how about you let me know what kind of parties, and that way I know as well, just so we're all in the loop.
Oh, of course.
Of course, of course. Good luck.
Oh, thank you.
So I'm assuming you
And
head
Toshi,
directly to this old tavern.
yes.
Wonderful. Okay, so how are you going to go about this?
Toshi approaches it probably from like the side area and just
East or
sort
west?
of.
So the
What
left
number
or
is
the
it?
right? Number 3. Right
Okay.
here.
Well, it doesn't let
This
me
is
view it very
sort of
well.
the front kind of thing here. The corner of Church Street, and there's a road off to the left as you're heading out of town. Church Street goes out of town. There's a road to the left, and the front door is kind of on the corner, sort of thing. There is a sort of not like a bank of windows down down Church Street. However, there is what seems to be a I don't know, like a foyer that stretches the entire length of the tavern itself. And what you do see as you sort of look in through what windows that you can is there used to be trophies hanging of, you're not 100% sure, but by the shape of the
Deer.
plaques, possibly deer, possibly hunting trophies, stuff like that.
Anything interesting about the inside?
Not of that room really. However, what you do note is most of the windows have been blacked out. At least from the inside. You can't see in.
Okay. Is there like a roof window?
Roll
Or
me a
not
perception
roof, but
check.
like.
This is a 2-story
Okay.
building.
Okay.
Yeah. Fuck.
You have to roll.
God damn it!
I was just seeing when you'd remember and just like.
Damn it!
I'll get right on that, Adam.
I'll get right on that. Thanks. 22. Yeah.
Man,
I mean,
11s?
yeah, right. You don't see a dormer sort of window or like a rooftop window. However, what you do see is quite a large chimney that looks newer than the rest of the building.
Going down chimney sounds like a very bad idea.
Seems to be a pretty easy point of ingress, though.
Yeah. Toshi will walk to the front of the door and knock on it. Anyone?
No answer.
Okay. Is the door unlocked?
No, it's definitely very much locked.
It won't be for long. How many
Okay.
people are around?
About what time of night are you doing this? Because
Like 9, 10 p.m.
9, 10 p.m.
Yeah. When it's a bit too dark for
You
humans
can,
to see outside,
yeah,
they'll run
yeah,
off.
yeah. There's maybe someone that walks past every now and then, but you're in kind of an isolated area. Like
Okay, is there a back door?
no one really tends to need to go this far north of town unless they're leaving town.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there a back door?
You have a look, and there does seem to be what amounts to like a service entrance. It's not sort of on the back. It's, instead of being on Church Street there, it's sort of off the end of Cliff Street and around sort of the side of the building. There's no back door, but there is a side door. It seems a little bit more sheltered.
Okay, yeah. That lock will soon be gone.
Yep. So, disable device, I'm assuming.
Yep, with a +4 because masterwork tools.
Cool. Are you just rolling, or?
You've got
Yeah.
to roll it.
Yeah.
I could take a 10 on this.
You could.
And that would
If
be
you
like
so wish, that'd
super
be like
high.
a 25.
Yeah, that should be good. Take a 10.
Okay.
Take my time.
You take your time, you take a few minutes, and just doesn't want to go.
Interesting.
You have never described a lock as slippery. However, this one seems to be evading you.
Gun. No, just kidding.
Do you want to give it another go? You could take 20 on this as well. It would just take a lot extra time.
I don't mind taking the time.
Okay. It's so weird. So you take a 20 on that one there, and that would end up being like a 30 million. It's like a 35? I think no, 33, because you get a +2 from your masterwork tools.
It's a +4, I thought. Oh, it's
+2 is what your sheet says. So we're gonna go with that.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah. You have never felt like a lock didn't want to be unlocked before. You wouldn't really ascribe a sense of personality to this thing, but if you were to, it's a shit stirrer. Just as you feel like you've got it, it resets itself. But you chase it for a good probably 15 to 20 minutes before you manage to get ahead of where it's actually going to be, and then click. You force that last pin into place, and then immediately open the door just an inch so that it can't lock itself again.
Yeah.
You do have access to the building.
Toshi sneak.
Human form Toshi, I assume.
Yes.
We cannot take 10 on. 20.
No.
Alright.
That's blech.
Yeah, it's
not
like great.
+4.
Yeah, you have a +13. Okay. Cool. So
still better than what most people can do.
Yeah. I mean, you got a 20 on a roll of 7. That's pretty good.
Not good enough.
You open the door. It opens sort of inwards, and you step into what seems to be the smallest warehouse you've ever seen in your life. There's it's a 10 by 10 room, but there is boxes stacked to the roof, and a pathway to a door sort of not on the opposite, but in the opposite corner. It seems to on your left.
Mhm.
What are you doing?
Do I hear anyone moving around? Do I hear any movement? Do I hear any breathing? That
You
sort
do
of thing
not.
first. Okay. Then I will investigate.
Mm-hmm. Yep. To the next door, or you gonna have a look around this room, or what do you want to do?
Yeah. Room first.
Room. Okay.
One.
You get near some of the boxes, and there's a very acrid smell in this room. It's spicy and acrid is the smell of ants.
Would you describe it that like it smells like gunpowder?
I would not.
Oh, okay.
Because you don't know what gunpowder is.
But I do, so you can use it as a descriptor.
It smells,
Exactly do
it smells like a
ants-
cross between it smells like spicy ants. Ants smell acrid. That's the only word that I can think to describe it. Just if you've ever like picked up an ant and like it's like got on your fingers and that sort of stuff, and you smell that, that's what acrid is to me. Anyway, smells acrid, very acrid, sort of spicy smell in the air, and you do open up a box, and there seems to be some sort of powdery substance.
Interesting.
Stick a torch into the
Each box is kind of got a label, not like a label on it, but like a label. It's like looks like chemical compounds.
Can I read it?
What languages do you speak?
You have the list.
Common, Sylvan, Varisian, Orc, Elvish, Dwarvish, Giant, Goblin, Abyssal, Cyclops, and Infernal. You actually cannot.
Can I identify the script?
You can
Or
try.
identify the language? Okay.
Linguistics check. Jesus, okay. 31. Yeah, alright then. Now I have to actually figure out what the actual script is. You say
Probably
gnome?
gnomish? Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. That's what I have in my notes.
No.
Yeah, it's gnomish. You can't read it, but it's gnomish.
Okay, can I get a gist of what it's saying? With the 31?
Bang.
Okay.
You're pretty sure you've mistranslated it.
It's danger.
Yeah, basically.
Do you comprehend languages?
Toshi does not.
Yeah.
Saf does.
It's indicating danger?
Say again.
Is it indicating danger?
Yes. It seems to be indicating danger and no naked flames near this thing.
I think I will agree with this, as I have no idea what the fuck this is.
Yeah.
Even though I would love to find out very quickly, I don't think that's the correct way of doing so.
No. Heading through the next door?
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant. You head through the next door, and it is unlocked. You head through, and it just seems to be a hallway. There are 4 doors on your right that seem to lead into the building further, and there is a staircase on the far end.
Okay, I'm going to go into the building further.
So there's four doorways, four doors on sort of on your right. Do you just want to go to the first one?
Yes.
Okay. Open up the first one, and it's much of the same as the last room. Same smell, same identifying symbols, same everything, really. It's better packed, but that's really it.
Then upstairs we go.
Yep. So there are 3 other doors.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
You
go
want to
into
check
the
them
next
out
door
as
then.
well? Next door. The next door leads into a larger room. Seems to be. You see on one end what looks like a bar, and there seems to be half a dozen tables where this building probably could fit at least 2 dozen. There's not a lot of tables, and where you do see scrapes on the floor of what look to be previous signs of people sitting around tables. They seem to be rounded tables, however, these ones are all square and with bench seats that look more like work tables than anything.
Hmm. Okay. Is there any recent sign of movement, such as tables are not dusty
Yeah, no.
or?
The place seems to be pretty well looked after. I'm
Hmm.
gonna have you roll a perception check. 27. You do see fresh scorch marks in the room, both on the floor and on most of the tables. Fresh as
Int-
in possibly in the last day. They're not warm, but they're not old and sort of worn down.
And I still don't hear anything, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So she's going to head up the stairs.
There is still 2 other doors that you haven't been through yet.
Oh, yeah, fuck. I
Cool.
keep forgetting other doors.
Next door.
Uh-huh.
Next door, it seems to you open the door and you immediately hit with the smell of fireproofing, and it's weird because the entire room seems to have been treated with some kind of either fireproofing material or a coating of some kind. You're not 100% sure. There is a single desk sort of in the middle of the room with a chair with like a stool either side, and there is just a huge amount of weird and intricate looking tools just scattered all over the desk. You do get that same acrid smell that you got from the 2 storage rooms as well.
Hmm. I wonder what they were doing in here.
Do you have craft alchemy?
Yes, I do.
Brilliant. Let's roll you one of them.
I got it a long time
19.
ago.
Yeah, you did. Um, this is definitely to craft. This is if you were to guess, and it is a guess. If you were to guess, this is where they're crafting those fireworks that they keep setting off.
Interesting.
There are measuring tools. There are packing tools, stuff like that. Seems to be where they're making whatever fireworks they're setting off.
Interesting.
And the fireproofing then sort of makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she lights a match. No, just kidding. Let's test it.
Blow yourself up and half the town. Congratulations.
Well, I mean, like, there are already scorch marks, so that
Yeah.
means there have been explosions.
Yeah. I'm talking scorch marks like, I don't know. Like that sort of big. It's
Yeah.
not huge.
I should be able to light a match without too much of an issue.
Yeah, as long as you're not throwing it anywhere.
Exactly.
There is one more door, and then there is upstairs as well.
I'm going to check the last door.
You open up that door, and there seems to be not like bunks, but more like hammocks, like on a ship. And there are
Okay.
6.
Okay. People in them?
No.
Okay. Toshi is closing doors behind her.
Of course. No worries.
Upstairs we go, I guess.
Okay. Heading upstairs, and there is a just like an not like an archway, but an empty doorway at the top of the stairs. You step up, it's sort of up a few steps, turns a corner, and then up a few more until you get to the top, and then it turns again, and you exit out onto a landing. That has definitely been reworked recently. Been renovated recently.
Okay.
One moment. Excuse me. Reworked, like renovated recently. There are 2 doors leading to your right again. So it's still into the building, so you've sort of done a 180 and the doors are on your right again. One is about 5 feet away from you on your right, and the other is sort of on the far end of the hallway.
Okay. Toshi's gonna rummage through her stuff and find a potion bottle because we've had potions as recently and used them.
Yeah. Right, so
take some of the powder.
a potion. So what are you?
Bottle.
What are you looking
You've
for?
discarded them. Oh, I didn't note them down in inventory, so I didn't take them then. Shit.
No, like, are you looking for a potion or a potion bottle?
Like an empty one.
Oh, like an empty bottle? Yeah, no, you've got it. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought I thought you were looking for a specific potion. I was like, which one? No, cool. Yeah, empty potion bottle, super easy. What are you doing with it?
Scooping up some of the powder and recapping it.
There is none right where you are, but I'll say that when you're in the crafting room, that you could have done that for sure.
Yeah, I'll go back in then grab it.
Yeah, make a note of that somewhere.
Okay.
I'm not making notes on your sheet for you. I'll roll your dice, but that's about it.
That's all I'm doing. I'm putting my foot down at any more work.
That's it. I will do no more work. That's it. Yeah. So, upstairs, door on your right, and then door on the far end of the hallway on your right as well.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Wait, are there more doorways upstairs?
Yes, just the 2.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then I'll do the one closest to me.
The one about 5 feet away from you on your right?
Yes.
It is in fact locked.
Not for long.
Not for long. Would you like to take a 20 on this one as well?
Yep, if the lock downstairs was anything, that must have had arcane lock or something.
Yeah, so a 33 on that one as well. You will just be able to unlock that one.
Wow.
You hear it sort of it fights you. Seems like it's fighting you. It definitely doesn't want you to unlock it. However, you do manage to sort of, you're like, oh, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. I know what's going on here. You do manage to get ahead of it and do open it, and you are able to again open it quite quietly, and push it open about an inch or so before it can lock itself again.
Okay. Toshi looks into the room carefully.
Brilliant. You take a look in, and this seems like a forge, but more complicated and more complex than you've ever seen. There are molds and what look to be massive turning. You've seen wood being turned before. This seems to be turning. This seems to be used for turning metal, which you have never seen, never even heard of.
Metal lathe?
Basically, this is This is what you're looking at. You're looking at a metal lathe, but Toshi's probably never seen one before. Not
Who knows?
Not like this. Definitely not like
Not
this,
like
at
that.
least. And not this intricate either.
Hmm.
You look around and there are what looks to be like pipes, and you definitely see what looks like small cut-off crossbow handles and stuff like that. Do you step into the room?
No.
No?
No, this looks like a workshop. Workshops are usually trapped.
I mean, I'm gonna roll you an intelligence check.
Sure. Toshi's broken into enough places to at least understand basic thievery, though.
Yeah. So to get a good enough look into the room, you had to open the door a good foot and a half. If there was a trap, you probably would have set it off already.
Hmm.
And you're pretty confident in your abilities.
Yeah, but it's always best not to set them off
I
more
mean-
than you need to.
You can move through looking for traps if you would like.
Yes, I'm making sure I don't step on anything
Yeah,
suspicious.
Definitely.
I'm looking for anything that can cause me harm.
Good to know. You rolled a 12.
What did I roll?
Natural
what did
one.
I get? Wow.
Yeah. So you step through pretty easily. You don't seem to set any traps off or anything like that. You definitely see, like I said, those pipes of some kind. There seems to be some like pins and like locking mechanisms that seem to fit things together. Also, you do hear a click from behind you. And Raven should know what a flintlock being.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you hear a really chipper voice. Well, it's nice to have you here. I would
So
not
she
turn
vanishes.
invisible, and just fires as you turn invisible. Fires. So
He has 50% miss chance.
yeah. Is there a somatic or verbal components or anything to that?
No, it just happens.
All right.
So Toshi can turn invisible before he can act.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Let me just. I had the stat block up, but I closed it accidentally. And you do notice that the door is now closed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not stuck in here with him. He's stuck in here with me.
Sure. Go ahead. Murder him. I dare you.
No, Toshi's not gonna murder him.
Does
Toshi's
23
just
hit
confused
your
with
AC?
someone. Yes. He still has mischance.
50. Over 50 hits.
Yes. What did he roll?
100.
100.
Dang. Still invisible. I take the damage like a boss. Which is a D8, unless he's more than a 5th level gunslinger.
Yeah, you take 7 points of damage as you hear an explosion behind you, and you feel something tear through your shoulder, and you see it exit the front and just gouge out a line in the timber floor in front of you, and you are bleeding quite profusely.
If I could see it.
I mean, I'm assuming you can see yourself if you're invisible. It's fine.
No. Can you?
I mean, why not? Cool. So I'm gonna give you the choice here. Would you like to roll initiative?
Toshi will say while invisible, "That's mighty rude. You're the one who pointed a weapon at me.
You're the one who broke into my guild.
No one's bought this property that I know of."
Doesn't mean to say that no one's bought it. How about you come
Should
out
probably
of where
put
you
that.
are hiding, and we can talk.
Where am I hiding? Toshi will turn invisible, smiling. Surprisingly not caring too much about the bullet hole in their arm.
So, one of the heroes of Sandpoint I've heard so much about, hey? Interesting.
Yes.
Breaking into a humble guild. Not very heroic now, is it?
I mean, also I've had to investigate multiple properties today. This one was just going to be another one. I was honestly hoping that there wasn't going to be anybody shooting at me.
Yes, well, I was honestly hoping to get some work done tonight, in peace. But I'm assuming that's not going to happen now, is it? Why are you here? What gave you probable cause to break into my guild? Answer the question.
Somebody creating explosives?
People create explosives all the time. How do you think fireworks are made?
Yeah, but also I had not heard anybody buying the property, and additionally, usually you need some sort of authorization to make.
What makes you think you would hear of someone buying a property? I'm sure things like that are much below the purview of the heroes of Sandpoint. Or does everything need to go through you? It's mighty, mighty up yourself to believe that.
Toshi just sort of looks at him and goes, do you know my last name?
Deverin?
Yes, it goes through my family. Additionally...
Oh, I know who your family is.
Yes. I'm just wondering... Honestly, I heard that there was parties going on here and I was going to investigate. Drunk people and explosives don't mix.
Well, as you can see, there are no parties. This is a guild and a workshop. By invitation only are you meant to enter here. However, there's sort of a sly grin. Sort of gives you the once over.
Huh?
That ability of yours to turn invisible.
Yeah.
Interesting. How do you do that?
Oh, yeah.
Is it a spell?
Oh, no.
Then what is it?
You just have to learn to center yourself correctly and just believe you're not there until it's true.
That's the most bullshit shit I've ever heard in my life.
Do you even know how sorcery works?
In any case.
Out of a character realistically, that's literally Toshi's.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm aware of this. Old mate does not believe you. He says, in any case, I would like to extend a challenge for you. And he sort of shows you his weapon. And he sort of just holds it out to you. And sort of seems to gesture you to take it.
Toshi takes it.
Have a look at that. How does it feel?
It feels like a hand crossbow.
Much more powerful than a hand crossbow, as you can probably feel.
I actually had a tiger maul me worse. Surprisingly. Yeah. That's a really odd statement.
I only shot you once.
Yeah, I haven't stabbed you at all, though.
In any
Believe me.
case, if you can acquire, find a weapon similar to this, or has the same working mechanism, I might extend you an invitation. Would you like to join the Gunslingers Guild?
I mean, sure. All I need to do is Toshi looks at it. Is there any way I can disassemble this?
He laughs and he says, "Not you. However," and he holds his hand out to sort of waves for you to give it back.
Toshi flips it so the barrel's so she hands back the handle.
Mm-hmm. Takes it, and he gestures you to one of the bigger anvils. It's probably a good sort of 2 feet by 1 foot. You don't know why he needs an anvil this big, but he's got one. And he gestures you to stand across from him, and he proceeds to strip this weapon. And there are so many moving parts inside this, you did not actually expect it. However, you see 2 or 3 of them, and you do recognize the contraption that Merc handed over to Cadriel, the Forge Master. This has some very similar mechanisms. However, these ones seem to be much more archaic and more like a prototype than anything.
Might I ask where you got this technology?
The plans I got from a gnomish acquaintance. That is as much as I will be able to reveal to you until you are a member of our guild.
Well, the thing is that I met somebody who said this was Dwarvish tech. Something like it.
Could be. Seems to be. Especially from the plans that I've got.
Interesting.
And he gestures to you and seems to be inviting you to reassemble it.
Okay, yeah, Toshi will
Now, have
reassemble
you
it.
got on your character sheet? Have you got?
I have the feet.
You have the gunsmithing feat.
Yes, I do.
Brilliant.
All gunslingers get it.
You are probably gonna wanna put some points into craft firearms. By the way, at some point.
I didn't realize I needed it because of what the feat says.
Yeah. The feat says that, but if you would like to improve on and create new firearms,
Yeah,
you're
creating
gonna
new
want
ones.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, with the feat, I will allow you to stumble your way through reassembling this weapon for the first time. And with some guidance, not as much as sort of you might have thought. He does say probably wouldn't put that back in there. The whole thing will explode in your hand if you do.
That sounds fun, doesn't it?
Oh, it's so fun. And you look down and he is missing a good chunk of flesh out the bottom of his hand here, and he hasn't got a pinky. Yeah. Very fun. I can attest to that. Even more fun is healing that naturally.
Toshi can sense the sarcasm.
Yeah. Very much so. So he says, "Now, are you going to accept my invitation and my challenge?"
Sure.
Wonderful.
Sounds fun.
How about I escort you out the front door this time?
The back door seems fun, but sure.
And he leads you down and opens the door and gestures out into the night onto Church Street.
Awesome. Toshi goes, wait, does Toshi know where what's his name is?
Cadriel. Forge Master Cadriel
Yeah.
Torgus. And probably doesn't know where the Forge Master lives, no.
Okay, Toshi goes directly to Warren's place.
Okay, brilliant. As you're leaving, he does sort of grin at you and good luck, and closes the door.
Okay, have fun.
Straight to Vorin. So Vorin, is your door unlocked?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Toshi.
Toshi knocks before entering.
You hear a knock at the door, interrupting your study time with Saf.
Okay, I'll go and answer the door.
They open the door,
Hi.
and Toshi is right there.
Toshi, it's late. Shouldn't you be back at the tavern? Sleeping.
Why do I need to be doing that right now?
Because I'm about to go and do that. We were just finishing up the last little bit of research, and
I am following a lead on something. Well, of course you do.
is it going to help us with the farms?
Yes, it will help us with problems.
No, with the farms.
With the farms?
The
Oh, yes, it
ghouls.
will. Yes, it will definitely help us with the ghouls.
Okay, well, come in.
Okay, Toshi comes
Yeah.
in.
Would you like some tea?
When was the last time this teapot's been cleaned?
Before it was bought.
You don't clean the teapot.
You cleaned. Who taught you to make tea?
My parents. And then the army.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Yeah. Have you ever made tea after cleaning the teapot?
Yeah. And it tastes like the first time you use the teapot.
Yes.
Which doesn't have the flavor that dwarves are used to. It's not dwarvish tea if it's a clean teapot.
I think it's a biohazard if you don't clean the teapot.
She would
That's
know.
fine.
She has craft alchemy.
Second that.
If you're going to come
Talk
into my
about that
house and complain
dangerous
about my
strain.
tea and interrupt my study, you can leave.
I just
Goodbye.
need to know where the Forge Master is. I can leave you and Saf be. Hi, Saf.
At this time
Oh,
of night,
hi.
he's asleep. And you definitely don't want to wake him up when he's asleep.
Okay. But I would still like to know where he is so that I can get some information out of or talk to him later.
I'm not going to tell you now. I don't
Aw.
like how you phrase that.
Getting information out of people is the same thing as talking to them about something.
No,
Like I'm
it's
getting information out of you
It's
by talking to you.
no.
It's not.
No, it's not Toshi.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Toshi looks frustrated and leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Cool.
See you in the morning, Toshi. Sleep well.
Fair enough. So you close the door, you turn around, Saf is sort of awkwardly standing, packed all the books up, and just sort of awkwardly standing is like, I might go get some sleep as well.
Like a good idea, lad.
Yes. I will see you in the morning.
Bye. Thank you.
Yeah. Heads out. Toshi, what are you doing now? Thoroughly
Toshi's going to find
frustrated.
it. Toshi's legitimately frustrated, but is going to go out and find what she's looking for by herself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to try and find the Forge Master's house on your own?
Like 11 o'clock at night.
At 11 o'clock at night. Yeah, no, I love that. How do you propose on doing that?
Just like wandering until she finds Dwarven residence.
Wonderful. Wonderful. You know
From
what?
after meeting him.
Cool. How many hours do you wander before you give up and go to bed?
Maybe an hour
Okay.
at the most.
Okay. Yeah, about an hour later, you have no idea. You've got nothing. At all. You wouldn't even know where to start looking. You know that he probably doesn't live at the chapel, or at Voron's house, or in the jail. But that leaves a lot more houses than not.
But also, I would think he would have a forge of some type.
Maybe.
He does always seem to come to Warren's place
Yeah.
to make stuff.
Exactly.
But also, he's sort of another forge master, so that's what Toshi's going off of.
Yeah.
As per
you don't find any large-scale forges or even medium-scale forges attached to any houses at all, other than the blacksmith and Voron's house. You do remember hearing something along the lines of him being retired.
Yeah.
So you're not quite sure if that means he doesn't have a forge, or you're not sure. Might be best to see what Voron says tomorrow morning.
Probably nothing.
Rough.
Knowing
wrecked.
Voron, he ain't gonna be saying shit now.
I mean, look.
So he's a dead resource and Toshi's gotta find it by herself.
Ooh.
It's not necessarily true.
Ooh.
From Toshi's experience with Voron, after he's said that sort of thing, it's for the most part very done with him. So Toshi's gonna try to find them herself.
You literally put it across as I'm going to go and find your friend at 11 o'clock at night and
get information from him.
Them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And
It's
not what you said. I think that the miscommunication thing between you two is hilarious. It makes me very happy. So you head back to the Rusty Dragon. You do see Saf with their nose stuck in a book. Seems to be copying something out of it. And you see them sort of just rub their eyes and big sigh as they finish up copying something into their... it looks like their spell book. And closes the book and looks around, and you get a big, like, toothy giant yawn, like a cat's yawn. Yeah, you get one of them. And you get a mime as well. And before Zaf was just really like, oh, you definitely saw that.
you got your tongue still there.
Nope. It's like... I'm... Good night. And just sort of rushes past you upstairs.
Bye, Saf. Is Amiko still up?
Amiko does seem to be just tidying up the last little bits and pieces.
Amiko, I need to find a person. Not right now. I'm going to be talking to them in the morning.
Who?
But I need to know what's... Forge Master Torgas.
Ah. He doesn't seem like the partying type.
No, it's not a party place. It is a guild place.
Oh, interesting. Guild. Well, I'm not sure he's the guild type either.
No, I need to
Definitely
talk
not
to him
people
about
type.
something.
Oh. Well, to be honest, he doesn't really like people, and Voron is one of the only ones that he seems to tolerate. So I would probably ask Voron. It's definitely not a good idea to go and wake the Forge Master up now.
As I said, I'm not going to talk to him tonight.
Yeah, no, good idea. I would ask Voron nicely to, and I would bring him breakfast. And we lost me.
No. Cole's camera just failed.
Oh, well, okay.
Or I turned it off, one of the two.
One of the two. There we go. You're back.
Back again.
All good, Tol?
Yes, but I have to disappear for a minute. Or mess your screen's layout.
Yes. Yes, it will. So, how about we take a quick 10-minute break right here, right now, and we come back to the next morning when Toshi speaks to Voron. Thanks for bearing with us. I'll be in chat. I'm sure these guys will be in chat. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Where's my break? And welcome back, everybody. Not 100% sure when Toll is going to be back, but Toll's just going to jump back in when he gets back. So, next morning, you wake up and Voron, I'm assuming you're waiting for a crack of dawn knock on the door from Toshi. Yeah, cool. Toshi, is that about what Voron gets? No? Not at all. Just got to keep him on his toes. What are you doing? Mm-hmm. Okay. What are you asking? Yeah. Okay. So where does the Force Marshal live? Amiko says, look. As far as I'm aware, he lives somewhere off Main Street. That's about... He doesn't come here. I don't send anything to him. If there is meals to be delivered to him, Voron does it. I actually don't know if anyone knows where he lives except Voron, to be honest. And she's sort of like, hang on a second. I wouldn't be. He's a very capable, very, very capable man. He's a dwarf and he's cranky. He spent a lot of time doing God knows what before he moved here. And I think we can all unequivocally say he is not a healthy person in any way, shape, or form. And, by the way, and she sort of leans in, neither are you or I, for that matter. Go speak to Voron. Explain why you need to speak to the Forge Master. I'm sure he will, with an explanation, I'm sure he will organize a meeting. Especially for you. He seems to have a soft spot for you. Yes. He doesn't show it like normal human beings because he's not human, he's a dwarf. But I have known my fair share of dwarves in my time, and as crotchety and old and stoic as they are, it's kind of how they show affection. Yeah. He doesn't hate you. He is a dwarf. They're just grumpy. Yeah. Right. I feel that. Oh shit. You've been muted. It's fine.
Uh-oh.
It's fine. It's what happens when you don't call me out on it every single time.
Hey, are
Alright.
we muted?
Hey, you are not now. So, just to recap for everyone that couldn't hear you because I am the worst. Toshi had just had a chat with Amiko about where to find the Forge Master, and Amiko is basically just saying, go speak to Voron. I don't think anyone else knows where he lives. So, people start to file in for breakfast, and Toshi looks around and says, I have work to do. Go talk to Voron. Here. If you're really worried about him saying no to you, give him this. And she turns around and of a small keg sort of under the bar. It's tucked away. It's kind of hidden. She pours out this really like red, dark, like it's like bright red, but it's dark. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a deep red. Is a really good word for it, and it's thick, and it sort of foams. She pops one of the flagon lids on it. She says, "Give him that."
I'm getting in.
You are providing a essential service for a dwarf, and no small measure of bribery ever hurt anyone.
I can.
Go talk to Boren.
Fine. Yes, Mom.
And she just sort of just shoos you out the door. Just off you go. I have work to do. She's definitely having some fun at your expense, for sure.
Yeah. Oh no, most definitely.
Yeah.
And believe me, Toshi will have her revenge.
Wonderful. So you head straight to Voren's. Voren, about mid-morning. So not as early as you were expecting, but you kind of were still as like she's going to show up eventually. Do you get a? Do you knock on the door or do you just walk in?
I want to make the joke of what Toshi walks in through the forge area.
Brilliant. I mean, you could probably do that, no issues.
I just don't know if Toshi would think that's probably a bad idea. Yeah, Toshi will probably think that's a bad idea. Let's go through the normal way.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, in through the front door, and Voren, your guest that you have been waiting for all morning shows up. Roll me a perception check. She's definitely holding one of Amiko's flagons. And you sort of get a
We've
hint.
been early in the morning for a human to be drinking, isn't it?
Toshi looks at Forge, just like, everyone. Oh God! I tell everyone, and then they all immediately forget.
Forgot.
It's for you.
I'm not sure. Oh. Thank you.
Yes. Now, where do you want me to put it?
Just hold out my hand.
In my hand, thank you. You take a drink, and it's phenomenal. I'd like you to describe how the best red ale you have ever tasted. What does that taste
Red
like?
ale or red IPA?
Red IPA. Let's go with red IPA.
Red IPA.
Yeah, what does
Best
red
red
Best
IPA.
red IPA you've ever tasted. What does that taste like?
It tastes like toffee coated oranges and stone fruit, with just like a crumbing of dark biscuits, like digestives or graham crackers or something like that. With a really nice, solid, firm but balanced bitterness and a crisp finish.
It's real fucking good.
Slurp.
I haven't had a red ale in ages.
Might have to brew one.
Mm.
So, the best red IPA that Voren has ever tasted is in your hands, and just yeah.
And what's the bribe for?
Yeah, that was Amako's idea. Thank you very much. Not mine.
Okay, I will Remember that?
Yeah. I don't do much bribery. Sorry.
You don't really apologize either, so what's going on?
I've apologized. Have I not apologized?
Nope. I don't think you've ever
Toshi
apologized
just like
once.
Toshi just starts drinking from a wineskin. Anyway. Yeah. I'd like to go talk to Forge Master. Is that a better way of putting it?
It's a much better way of putting it. It's a much more, well, shortly it will be a much more appropriate time to do it. He's not a fan of people, though. Like, what do you want to talk to him about?
The thing that Merc gave him.
What about the thing that Mark gave him? I kind of figured that since Mike was gone, out of sight, out of mind, I don't have to.
Toshi puts the lead pellet on the table and goes, well, other people have it now.
Yeah. At this point, you definitely notice that she's probably bandaged up her shoulder, and that thing is bloodstained.
Who did that to you?
I was investigating a house, or
Breaking
where
in.
the actually Toshi was investigating because
By
drunk
breaking
people
in.
take places. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. And there are people who are making it now. That's what I've found out.
People make gunpowder all the time. Well, they make fireworks all the time, which I imagine uses this powder.
Oh yes, most definitely.
So were there people making the
Drinking.
devices that Merc had?
From what I can guess, yes.
Do you think that they intend to use them on people in the town? Is that what you're getting at?
No, I was trying to figure that out myself, honestly, after I was pointed at it. It apparently no, but I'm not sure. People can have their motives without saying anything.
Fair. So what are you hoping to gain? Like, if I am going to convince him to talk to you about it, I need to know what you can get, what you want out of the conversation, so that I can tell you whether it's going to be a good idea or it's not, and whether I can get through to him to talk to you about it, because he's a very
I
very grumpy man that likes his solitude.
I mean, I hope he doesn't hate me that much.
He hates everybody, including me. So you don't have to worry about that.
I doubt he hates you. Honestly, I doubt
Respond
that.
with a smile.
He responds to you the best out of everyone. If you haven't been able to tell.
No, I know, but there's certain things that, certain ways that we can bond that you can't do with other people.
Which is fair. But yes, I would, if anything, I would much rather learn how these things work from him than them. Additionally, I trust him with figuring out how these other people will be dealing with these weapons.
You want to talk about how it works.
Yeah, I'd love that. I would love to learn from him.
Is it just a curiosity thing, or are you
I think it could
intending to
help.
try and use one of these things?
I think it could help us in the long run, but if he does not want me to use them, then I can figure out other things.
Toshi, You can just be clear with me.
Am I not being clear?
Let me ask the question again.
Uh-huh.
Do you just want to find out about this, or do you want to learn how to use one?
Learn
Both?
how to use one.
Yeah, I already know how to use one, but I would love to learn how to the inner workings of them. Honestly, I never was able to pick up an art, so
So
figuring out something that I'm good at would be nice.
you think you're good at explosive violence?
Have you met Toshi? Of course she is. Duh.
I think that the Forge Master
Making them. Tinkering, I mean, not.
believes that this technology belongs in very specific hands. He very clearly didn't want to just give it to Merc. But
And that was probably for the best.
I am inclined to agree. You are definitely more on his good side than Merc probably ever had any chance of being. Let's.
The dumbest thing is that the last 3 tieflings I've met have been really shitty people.
Stereotypes are a perpetuation of reality.
Except for I've also met tieflings who are much nicer.
There's always
So
exceptions to the rule.
Just give me some
Unfortunately.
time. I will fix that. I promise. Because I'm with you. I don't like the fact that tieflings are bad. Don't like it.
Yeah.
Give me some time.
Stereotypes are a stereotype for a reason.
Yeah, I don't like stereotypes.
Except the stereotype was based off of their fiendish ancestry, not the race themselves.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
But they have a tendency to play into that stereotype because that's the stereotype about them.
It's kind of like, well, I was about to say Toshi sort of lived up to a stereotype the entire time.
Kinda.
Yeah. But
What
yeah,
you can do about that is not judge each person as the stereotype, judge them as their own people.
exactly. That's why I say those last 3 people are shitty people.
Let me talk to him and see if he will agree to talk to you about this. He doesn't want people at his house ever.
Okay.
Me 90% of the time. So probably 99% of the time. So if he agrees to meet with you and talk to you
Mhm.
about it, it will probably be here or
Okay.
at the tavern or something.
Okay. I think here, if he doesn't like people, the tavern's full most of the time.
Yeah, I think he was probably a good idea too.
Unless you have a meeting spot on the wood somewhere, but that's sketchy.
Sketchy AF.
Also have our secrets.
Oh, big enough, really sketch vibes.
Um, I'm assuming that you would like to do this before we go.
Yes. Unless he feels like shooting me too, in which case, no, thank you.
I wonder. Can you excuse me for a moment, Toji? I would like to talk to Som.
Like, leave the room or leave the house type, excuse me. Excuse
It's
you.
one and the same,
Step
really.
outside. Yeah.
Okay. Doji leaves and waits outside.
Terran.
Yep.
Just because Som only understands Terran and
Yep.
Toshi can't eavesdrop.
Yet.
Going to ask Son if he would be able to do me a favor and Earthglide over to the Forge Master's house and introduce himself and ask if he would like to come here shortly. Tell him that I'm not coming myself because I didn't want to be followed, and let out his address to this particular person.
Rude.
And also, I think he would like to meet you.
Yeah.
Of course. Is there anything else I can do for you?
No, it's more than enough. Thank you.
You get like the sense of a nod, like half a nod, half a bow kind of thing.
Yep.
As Son sort of rumbles over to the door to the forge, and then as soon as he steps onto like hard packed ground, and then yeah, just melds into the earth. Probably say 5-10 minutes later. Toshi, are you back inside by this point?
I would tell her that she can
Yeah,
come
okay.
back inside once Sun's gone.
Yeah. About 5-10 minutes later, the door opens, and the Forge Master walks in, steps in, closes the door, throws a glance at Toshi, looks at Voron, nods. As well, that's interesting.
This isn't a they, he.
Yes.
I have to ask him about that.
Of course. Right. Anyway, what is of the utmost importance that I must leave my house? What do you want?
Toshi tosses him the bullet.
Catches it and sort of sniffs it. I'm assuming this was inside your shoulder?
Yes.
Interesting. Chucks it back. Who did that?
Yeah. Actually, it's going to occur to me that I should probably heal out and I'll get up and keep going.
She'll be right. It'll be fine.
I'd much rather not come home with a bullet wound this early.
Oh!
On the shoulder.
Calm down.
Heal. You are healed.
Yes. Oren lays on hands.
You
Just
will.
avoiding using that terminology for that response.
I was not. So yeah, the Forge Master Torgas comes and sits down heavily, sort of in front of the both of you.
Mm-hmm.
Who did that?
A gnomish. Was it a gnome?
Seemed to be human.
Oh. A human claiming to be a gunslingers guild person over by where the pale deer.
A white deer.
White deer, yeah.
Yes, I know that one. Okay. Did you... He sort of frowns at you. What was inside? I'm assuming you got shot because you were inside where you were not meant to be?
I was expecting drunk people with explosives, not a gunslingers guild.
Yes, well, do you know what the term gunslinger means?
Well, I'm guessing I found out.
Yes, that's what it means. These weapons, firearms, to the select few who use these weapons, they call themselves gunslingers. I didn't expect humans and, well, to be frank, non-dwarvish hands to get a hold of them this early.
It seems like gnomes are supplying gunpowder.
Gnomes would be very good to... Gnomes would be the best source of gunpowder. They do like explosions. However, did they have plans for the weapons themselves?
It's a bit more primitive than the musket that I saw.
Right.
Beginning stages, I'm guessing.
Say again, sorry?
Beginning stages, I'm guessing.
Right,
Prototypes.
yes. However, the shape is similar?
Yes, very similar.
Okay.
Pistol for this one.
Yes.
Or
Well,
a hand held.
yes. Is what we call pistols. Or is it called a pistol? I don't
Yeah.
It is? Okay.
Pistol.
Yeah. There are 3 basic configurations that are used. The blunderbuss, which is more of a spread weapon, shoots a spray of pellets in a very effective cone. There is the pistol, which is short range, fast to reload, and there is what we call a musket, which is longer. It's two-handed, more like a heavy crossbow in the way it is wielded. However, packs a much more hefty punch.
Interesting.
Oh,
Well, shot with the smallest one.
you were this is a pistol. This looks like a pistol. Yeah. So why am I here?
Well, I thought you'd want to know about this.
You are correct.
Additionally, if I want to learn anything about it, I think you are much more trustworthy than them.
You are aware that I have in my possession one of these weapons, yes?
Yes, Merc gave it to you.
And where is he?
Well, I hope in a ditch somewhere.
Well, seems I made the right call not allowing him to hold on to this. However, and he sort of looks at you, looks over at Voron, looks back at Toshi. Step outside for a minute, please.
Fine.
1 minute.
Just walks out.
Looks back at Voron. You know her?
I don't know.
What are your thoughts?
We have nearly died together. I'd say you get to know somebody pretty well.
Very much so. So you trust her with your life?
Yeah, strangely.
Do you trust her with the lives of thousands?
Is that what these things equate to?
Possibly.
Yeah. She acts for the right reasons most of the time.
Do not let this fall into anyone's hands other than hers and yours.
Right.
Can I have a moment alone with her?
Sure.
Thank you.
Well, just before I go, did Son come back with you, or did he?
You do see just outside in the forge,
Yeah.
Son seems to be sort of rifling through some of the slag.
Okay, cool.
And
cool.
it's just crap. Like it's literal just
Slag.
it's slag. There's no use for it.
Walk outside after being like, oh, okay. And
having a snack.
yeah. Toshi, you can head inside.
Oh, yeah. Doshi was just tossing it up her dagger and it just goes into the air. She stands up, it's still in the air. Now it's in her hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wonderful. Love it. Brilliant. So you head back inside.
Mm-hmm.
And the Forge Master is sitting, leaning forward on the table, staring, as you open the door, staring directly into your eyes. He gestures to the seat in front of him. Just take a seat.
So she sits, tail swooshing.
You know, I've only ever met one other of your kind. He was a honorable man. He did warn me that not all of his kind are. I believe you to be one of those that are.
Toshi looks around, going, "Who are you actually talking to?"
He's looking you dead in the eye.
Yeah.
You have within you the capacity to do great good. You also have the capacity to do great evil. It's your choice. However, if these weapons are out in the world, then I would feel better knowing that you had one of them. Goran trusts you. So I trust you. Is there anything I need to know before I hand it? And he's looking you like he's like, it's like getting called into the principal's office, but like multiply that by 10. You're not in trouble, and you know you're not in trouble. However, like the eye of Sauron is like, you know.
Toshi's just smiling and her tail swooshing like excitedly.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? Like, what would you want to know?
Not yet, then.
No, I'm actually asking you what else you
Yeah.
want to know.
He's basically. What's your sense motive?
If I roll, I get above a 15 automatically.
Yeah, cool. He's asking you to tell him why he should trust you. He says that he does, but confirm it.
I mean, I've yet to put anybody else in serious danger for my own well-being. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure Voron can attest to that.
Sits up straighter. He's a lot taller than you sort of feel like he should be. Sits up straighter and pulls out a red velvet, like quite a large red velvet pouch. Unties it, lays it out. He says, "Go ahead." And it is a disassembled pistol. He gestures to you as if he were asking you to assemble it.
Okay. Is it any different from the pistol that she assembled last time?
It is. It is much better crafted. It would actually be considered a masterwork pistol.
Ooh. So she will take her time and put it together.
Okay. Over the next probably 10 minutes, taking time and care, it all slots together so much easier than the last one, and you are left with a filigreed barrel, which has etching of flames blasting back along the barrel. The flintlock itself is looks like it's double pronged in the shape of a tooth, and the hammer, the handle looks like it's the top of a not like a thigh bone, but like it looks like it's the top of some sort of big club shaped like a bone.
Yeah.
Trigger and the trigger guard is made from what looked to be mithril.
Ooh. I'm guessing this one's yours?
I don't know who this belonged to. All I know is that it is of dwarven origin, probably from one of the Sky Citadels. This is an heirloom.
Is there a crafter's mark on it anywhere?
There is not.
It's odd.
For dwarves, very much so. So, I think that's where we're going to have to call it for tonight, because you have some things to do. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Much appreciated. And we will see you next week.
Woo, I have a gun.
Ow.